All right? Can you work with me on this and work with us on this? It's not about me. I'm one of 8. But I do want this to be a united board and working for the citizens. And there's a lot of trust we got to build with you guys, but you guys got to give us a chance too. All right? Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair.
Supervisor Bailey.
I have several things that I need to say. One is Supervisor Angry, I accept what you just said. I think we do no service to our community when we disagree in an ugly way. We do no service. And we have to show the community upon this board that we're going to be respectful of each other. And so I don't have a problem with us discussing this later. I agree with Supervisor Angry. This is not about constitutional rights. I agree with you. But what I do want to say is when we are coming together as a board for this community, let's do it in a respectful way. Let's do that. Let's start right there. Because in the discussions, we've been called names. And I think that's not good. But I think that this is an opportunity for us to show cohesiveness in our county. And so, Madam Chair, with all due respect to you, not because you're a Democrat, but because you are our leader, let's move in a congenial way as we move forward.
Supervisor Franklin.
Yeah, so first board meeting, very exciting. But I do want to say, first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming and sharing your thoughts. Even if, we find ourselves on different sides of the issue, this process is very important, and I don't take that lightly. We're here for a reason. We're here for you. And so we do appreciate you all coming out and expressing your opinion on this particular topic. One thing that was not explicitly stated, but that I gathered from all the comments is that we all love Prince William County. We all want to move this county forward. And what I would recommend to all of us as we leave this place is to make sure that regardless on what side of the issue we fall, we figure out with regards to whether you want to call it gun control, gun safety, supporting the Second Amendment, that we really sit down together and figure out what does that mean with regards to our communities. Exactly what does that mean? We have hard lines on both sides of the issue, but like Reverend Archer said, we ought to really figure out how we can bridge the gap and get rid of the divide. So, it's probably clear where I am on this issue. I think we have, in fact, heard from a very core group, not only tonight, but back in December before I was even on the board. Whatever decision this board comes up with in terms of whether we keep it, the vote for tonight or move it forward, we just need to make sure that, we understand each other, we respect each other. But I think that this issue has been talked about on several occasions. It's not going to go away whether we vote tonight or next week. And so really managing expectations is what we need to discuss. Whether we kick it a week from now, the issue doesn't go away. It's always going to be an issue. The question is, how do we talk about the issue? And how do we really sit down and get rid of the lines that we've drawn in the sand about this issue? So I just wanted to share my thoughts about that. Again, you all probably, know from my background kind of where I am on this. I do believe that gun safety is important, but that doesn't mean I want to take away anyone's guns. It just means that we need to figure out how to come together to keep our community safe, whatever that means.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just for point of clarification, if the board is talking about continuing this to another meeting, the calendar that you adopted tonight, your next evening meeting is February 4th. So if the board wants to hear this next Tuesday, I would recommend that the motion include a motion to add a 7:30 session on January 14th at the McCourt Building at One County Complex Court.
Madam Chair.
Supervisor Angry. Actually, Supervisor Bodie hasn't had a chance to speak yet.
Sure.
if you
So
don't mind.
I want to first ditto everything that Supervisor Franklin just said, but for my clarification for so I can understand what's going on right now. So it sounds to me like Supervisor Angry offered a motion. It also sounds to me like Supervisor Bailey may have seconded it, but I just want to make sure I know what's going on.
He actually said friendly amendment, it wasn't a motion, so I was going to ask him to clarify that,
Yeah.
if you would like to clarify that,
Yeah,
Supervisor Angry.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. That was my motion, and I'd like to amend my friendly amendment.
Is it an amendment or a motion?
Oh, well, it's a motion, a friendly amendment to the motion. Well, I guess I need the motion. I'm the motion.
Okay. And
And
what is your motion?
My
Supervisor
motion is
Angry.
to, well, so my motion is, I want to actually table this until the 4th February meeting. I don't think we need to add another evening session. That's not up to me, but I'm just going off of what the county attorney just said.
I'll second that.
So-
Your friendly amendment?
You're seconding Supervisor Angry's friendly amendment. To February 4th.
Madam Chair.
Discussion. It would be in the evening. Discussion, Mr. Canlon.
Yeah, I would be supportive of that. I think what would be important is if we can task our lobbyists in Richmond to come and present to the board at some point some of the different ideas, some of the different legislations that's being proposed down in Richmond, so we can react and maybe take positions. And I like the idea of us being able to actually react to specific ideas that are going on instead of more general ideas. So I would definitely be in support of that. But let's not waste our time between now and then. Let's get some education on the bills that are being proposed down in Richmond.
And other discussion.
Madam Chair, can we have our lobbyists come and present to us? Is that a
Yes.
possibility?
Yes, we can do that.
Rather than the delegations? I think in terms of expediency and understanding, that would bring a point of clarity to us.
Madam Chair,
Yes, so
may we also
Supervisor Vega.
consult the experts that sit on our Weapons Control Board?
You would like to do it, we can definitely
Yes.
do that too. Well, I don't, Prince William County is always ground zero, isn't it? You know, we're always like right at the flux of everything, of the change. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, which actually makes us an exciting and wonderful, vibrant place to live. We all manage to get along even though we have different ideas and we come from different places. So I'm actually, halfway through tonight, I got real excited. I'm like, wow, I get to hear from 135 citizens tonight, and hear their opinions. And that's wonderful because we have people who are engaged, and I appreciate that. For me personally, my stance is supporting legislation that doesn't try to take away anyone's Second Amendment rights, but just comes to some kind of, middle ground where we can work on gun violence prevention. That is all I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to take away anyone's Second Amendment rights. I know people think it's a slippery slope, but that is just not how I feel. And so I am willing to, we can vote right now on postponing it until February. Yes, Mr. Martino.
Madam Chair, for your consideration as
Yes.
you're talking about this issue, earlier tonight, we didn't have any land use issues for you to consider during
Correct.
January, which is why we took 7:30 off the agenda for the 21st. You do have land use items that are expected to come forward on the 4th, and it would be too much in one evening, so we'd be moving one or the other. I would offer for your consideration putting 7:30 on the 21st back on.
Yes.
Or now 7:30 on the 28th. Either way, we can have David Westcott, our legislative affairs individual, come forward and brief you on what has been introduced down in the General Assembly.
Madam Chair,
Supervisor Angry?
I'd like to amend my friendly motion to the 21st of February?
January.
January 21st.
January 21st, and then I guess
To
that's-
add the evening
To
meeting.
add the
To add the evening meeting.
I second.
Well, I was gonna say, I accept that. I think I have to
Oh.
accept it as well. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's how it works.
Any other discussion? Supervisor Franklin?
Madam Chair. Madam
Yes.
Chair. I would like to go on public record as saying that we finally got a few of these on the inside. So if the outside would like to make some noise for us, we appreciate that as well.
I think they might have gone home.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
So it sounds like we're in general agreement to move this to the 21st, and. In support of the board, I will. Yes, and in support of the board to act as a cohesive group. And it would be nice to have a unanimous vote on our first contentious vote, where we've come to some middle ground where we can further discuss this on the 21st. And also get input from citizens with the idea that how can we find some middle ground in this area? How can we do that? And if people say never, that's going to be a problem. We need to find middle ground. We have people on both sides of this issue who are so concerned. So, please vote.
Vote unanimous.
We will have it on the 21st. I will see you all again then in the evening. Thank you. We'll do this again.
No, we're going to have supervisors.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I've got a big
No,
list.
we are not done with supervisors' time. I'll let everybody file out.